What's going on, guys? Michael here, 360 Digital Closing Bell, live from an undisclosed location here in Denver, here on this beautiful Friday, April 17, 2020. Joined as always by my executive producer and co-host of the show, director and publisher of Oil and Gas 360, Stuart Turley, who is live from an undisclosed location in Dallas. Stu, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Just having fun.
Way too much fun, and we have a great show lined up for you. We'll talk about this insane contango market and what's going to happen on April 21st, which is going to be a spicy day for everybody. Stu's got some updates and some storage stuff. We will dive into digital, but first, I just need to do some clerical work. If you are not subscribed to the 360 Digital Closing Bell on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, please do it. I just dropped an episode this morning on my Week Look Back podcast. We will be recording this weekend a week look ahead podcast that will be in your inbox before the market opens on Monday. It's the best way to stay up to date with all of your energy finance news. And we are really excited on some of the stuff that we're going to be firing up for you guys. So please, thank you for all the love. Also, the Energy Expert Network on Entercom and www.oilandgas360.com is exploding right now. We have so much new content. We just recorded a bunch of new interviews this week. We have some great interviews lined up for you next week that we will be dropping. You can view all the great stuff we're doing on that landing page. And it's just so many interviews. I mean, Stu, we've been busy interviewing people for weeks now, and it's really starting to turn into something great.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And the feedback from the CEOs, I got some CEOs feedback not very long ago, and they are getting phenomenal traffic back on their social media sites. So not only putting it on our social, people love it.
We hosted a live event last night that was a crossover between energy and tech. Stu, was it 1,100 hits on the landing page?
Yes, on the landing page.
This is an unbelievable number. We really appreciate everybody who was part of that event. You can check out that video, which has a lot of energy tech VCs and actually a CEO of an energy services company, Jeff Sapanja of Heels Systems. You can check that out on Entercom's YouTube page. All right, with that, we got to dive into the digital ticker. Crazy day if you're looking at the numbers. Equities up off great news that Trump is probably going to phase in reopening the economy. That dropped last night, actually, during that call. Crude has a very interesting situation that's happening in the contango market. We will address it. But first, let's dive into the numbers. SPY 2874, about a 75-point increase, or about 2.68%. Tech stocks don't do as well. NASDAQ only up at 1.38% to 8650. Dow Jones stays above 24,000, clocking at a 700-point gain, 24,242, or 3% gain off great numbers for Boeing that they're going to roll out some new 737 MAX regulations. For crude contract, though, front month contract, so with an May contract currently trading at $18.13, or an 8% drop. We will get into the contango market and what's going to happen. Some crazy things were happening last night. A 12-month strip, 35.69, or a 1.2% increase. Natural gas does very well, 4.6% increase on the day, about 7 cents up to $1.76. 12-month strip, though, up not quite as big, only 0.8%, up to $2.76. XOP contract, $42.36, or gaining $3.84, or 10%, or regaining all of the losses that I had. And so this is why you don't exit early, folks. When you get antsy, stay tight. I exited and flushed my position because I was mad on the podcast this morning. This is why you stay in, and I need to know better. So chalk this one up as a lesson for me. And our OIH contract, we're going to bring it back in because honestly, 3 days ago, I was very concerned about what happened. Normally that contract trades at about $4, and it was trading at like $86, and I was very confused. So I just thought my charts were off and my data feed was wrong. So I dropped it for 2 days. And then when I circled back to Discover, on Tuesday, they did a reverse SPOC split of 20-1. So now that contract is trading at, 20 shares now equal the original, 20 shares now equal the original one. And that contract is now $90.04, or up about $6.83, or about 8% on the day. So a little less than our XOP contract, which is our E&P securities. They were up 10%, but at OIH, we're going to get used to that really, really heavy number at 90 even right there. On the downside for equities, not much on the day. Chesapeake in one of their contracts was down 7% to $14.45. Remember, they have two different shares that trade here, and they've done a bunch of reverse stock splits. So, not in a great situation there. But either way, we see that. Lone Star Resources, honestly, a company that I like just because their ticker symbol's LONE. I'm a big ticker symbol guy. They were down 8% to 45 cents. Hallador Energy Corporation down to 73 cents, or $9.84%. On the upside, great numbers. We see Chaparral Energy up to 27 cents, or 20% on the day. Dex US Holdings up to $17.21, or a 23% gain. and Eversico Corporation up to 20 cents or an 87% gain. Could have made a lot of money right there. Stu, we've got some storage issues to talk about.
Oh, you bet. Hey, Michael, thanks. Just coming across the international news desk today, there are 770 VLCCs, very large tankers, and they're estimating over 200 of them are just going to be parked and used for storage. They're also saying that they're going to have almost every other smaller tanker stuffed. And you were talking about jet fuel, right?
Yeah, I mean, you normally, when crude is stored offshore, if it ever has to be, it's generally crude, and you can last a little longer. What Stu abruptly pointed out is that there's now some jet fuel that's being stored offshore. The life cycle on that is not as long as crude, and so if you're seeing jet fuel now all of a sudden being traded and stored, it's not going to be a good sign. And so it's just unbelievable that we're seeing this jet fuel being stored. And, this really rolls into my one big thing, which is the contango issue we're coming at. As everybody know, oil's $18.22, but that's for the front month crude futures contracts. So remember, crude futures contracts roll over every single month, and there's a physical settlement date, and you can actually go to the CME, CMEgroup.com/trading/energy/crude-oil/light-crude-sweet product calendar futures.html. That's the URL. I literally just read it off to you, and you can look at the settlement date and when these contracts roll over. And for May 2020, the settlement date is April 21st, or this Tuesday, which also has to be a very ominous date about when Texas comes out and decides on proration. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but it's just weird how it always works out like this. All of these days wrapped together. But look what's happening. 18.20 for the front month contract. But if you just go 1 month sooner, or June, which come April 22nd will be the contract we have to trade, that's up at $25.14. An unbelievable contango situation that we're finding ourselves. Generally, by now, the front month and the month ahead converge on each other, and they're within 3 to 4 cents at this point. To see this insane movement and same distance between the front month and the next month at this point is honestly unprecedented, and it will make your head spin. So my one big thing is watch out for the settlement date. If you're trading crude, you can get yourself into a thing. And with that, we're going to go and let you guys finish up your week and then head home early. Thank you for checking out the 360 Digital Closing Bell. We will see you guys Monday before the market with our Week Ahead podcast.